Welcome to the next in our series of Canadian Nursery Landscape Association National Awards of Landscape Excellence Award winner webinars. My name is Bill Hardy, the CNLA Communications Chair, and with me is Sherry Williams from Caterpillar, our premier sponsor for the Awards of Excellence. Today we'll be speaking with Andrea Rowe, the owner of Airo Landscapes, Inc., winner of the 2020 Hort Protect sponsored NALE Residential Landscape Design Award category for the Kensington residents. So Andrea, let's get rolling here. Just tell us a little bit about Airo Landscapes, how long you've been in business, how the company's developed over the years.
Well, Airo, I started Airo back in 2006, and it was I was doing design work on the side, and in 2011, I officially incorporated Airo Landscape Design at that time, and so became incorporated in 2011. In 2013, I partnered with a business partner to be 50-50 partners in a company called Atmosphere Landscape Construction. And in 2017, we dissolved that company, and I took full ownership of Atmosphere and Airo and combined them into a company that's now called Airo Landscapes.
Perfect. So within the company, can you tell us a little bit more about what you're focused on, and then maybe what you contributed to the winning project?
Can you ask that question one more time?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So we'll make it two parts. Day to day, what is your role within the company? What are you responsible for?
Day to day, I am managing director as well as principal environmental designer. So I manage. I obviously manage the company, as well as I help manage the crews and make sure everything's flowing nicely, as well as I'm principal designer here. So I also do a lot of design work as helping the team through those processes as well. But my hands are in everything to help managing, preparing quotes and securing jobs and dealing with the clients. And so I kind of do everything all the time.
Well, with that, for this winning project, did you do the design work for this as well and manage the crew on site?
I was in partnership with Jenny Ola. She worked with Airo Landscapes, and Jen did the main design with my guidance as well. So I participated in that design collaboration process, and I did help with also the project management and seeing the project through to construction.
Very busy lady.
Yeah. So just a little bit more about your staff at Airo. Yes. What qualifications they have. Particularly, I'm interested if you have any CNLA certified landscape horticulturalists or Red Seal landscape horticulturists on staff, or what their qualifications might be otherwise.
Sure, yeah. So we have a Red Seal landscape horticulturalist, Megan McCarthy. So she heads up our maintenance side of things, as well as all our plant installations, as well as does training for our staff to help make sure that they're installing plants properly. As well as we have myself as well. We're actually going to be going forward with challenging the Red Seal exam here in Newfoundland, and another project manager here, Don Goss. So hopefully by the end of this year or beginning of next year, we will have 3 Red Seal landscape horticulturalists for the company.
Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the specific project. Was there anything particularly special about this project?
Well, with regards to, I guess, all of our projects, where we want to start with is really understanding our client and getting them to kind of reveal a little bit about who they are and how they use the space, and try to create a unique space just for them. And this particular project was really interesting because there was an added part of the garden that wasn't being used. And so we had like a semi-private front area and then a pretty private back area. And so we had an existing gazebo that we had to incorporate and things like that. But what was great about this client, it wasn't about that high functioning, like where's my deck and where's my barbecue area and those types of things. This particular, or where's my greenhouse and where's my vegetable garden, it was more about a garden for garden's sake. So it was for especially the front area, the semi-private front area. It was for garden's sake. So it was about the plants, and it was about contemplation, it was about relaxing, it was about the graphic and the design. So it was really great to work with a client that was really just interested in creating a garden. It was really, really great. The gazebo side of things, we had to really look at the incorporating it and making it feel like it always fit with the garden, because we didn't want to lose that. And then we also created a fire pit area off to the side so they can sit and have fires there.
So how much time did you actually spend with the client in the development process before you actually started going to work, or even before you presented them with a project plan?
So this particular client, we had already previously worked on a space in their yard, which was directly behind the house. And we created a water feature, and there was a deck space, and then we had the kitchen space and those types of things. So the more functional spaces were closest to the house. So we had that, and so we got to know them over the years. So this was really great because we already had a relationship, and so now our goal was to really create a space that could be an addition to what was existing, but also mold with the existing garden. So, but the relationship we've had for years now. So it was really great to continue on with that build and finish the garden for them.
So you mentioned some structures that they obviously wanted to work around, the fire pit and the gazebo. Were there other factors, some of the trees or anything else that they really didn't want to remove that they wanted to keep?
So this area, with regards to the trees, we had a very mature garden. So everything's very private, and the trees were very big. And so what we did was we wanted to let more light in. So we hired a professional arborist, and so they came in, and Albert's Tree Services came in, and they really thinned out all the trees so we can let in a lot of light, and to make sure that we were able to keep the structure of the spaces. We didn't want to lose any of the existing trees. They were very important to the client as well as to the space that was existing. So, so we did work with a professional arborist there. There was also concern with regards when we had first started, because the larger boulders, which are on the back of the property, we had to get in our backhoe, so we had to work with the arborist as well to make sure that the trees were cut so we could get our backhoe in.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. How badly did you want to move the gazebo?
I wanted to move it really badly. We did ask, and it was a no, because they have existing concrete foundation in there. So the gazebo was part of, it was there, and we just worked with it. And it turned out really great because it's a really nice addition to that little pocket in the garden. And so it does work.
Great. Regarding new plant material that you put in, was there any particular unique or different plants that you put into the project?
Yes, so what you're seeing here is a lot of the, in the pictures you're showing me right now, we're in a fall landscape, so things are starting to die back, the perennials are dying back and things like that. But where this plant was an avid gardener, we spent a lot of time on the planting plan. So we also wanted to make sure that there was you want to make sure there were focal point plants, as well as plants that would complement the area, especially if you were in like the pathway on the side there. We want to make sure they were lower, as well, because it was a shaded garden in certain areas. We wanted to make sure that the plants were shade tolerant and things like that. So there was a lot of time went into actually choosing which type of plants were there.
Okay, so from looking at how everything's laid out, it looks pretty secluded. I'm just curious, are there actually neighbors around, or does the foliage help with that? Curious if this particular client, if they like to entertain. I only see 2 chairs in random places, not 8 chairs. So do they like to entertain, or is this more just one of their sanctuaries and away from the neighbors that surround them?
Well, there are neighbors around them. It's just hard to see them because of the existing greenery and things like that. So it is very private, which is really great. But there are only a couple chairs. This was about, especially the front area, it was more about contemplation, relaxation, a stroll through the garden. This client is a gardener. He wants to be in the soil, he wants to weed the garden, he wants to be there, and that's his escape. And he really appreciates that. So this became, especially the front, it became very much about meditation, contemplation, relaxation, and more of an intimate space for them. The back area, similar. It's not meant for large gatherings. It's meant for him and his partner to have a fire, those types of things, or their immediate family members. So it is very much a private garden for them.
Perfect.
Hey, so I'm curious what kind of feedback you got on the project from maybe the neighbors, from your peers. How overall was the project received?
It was received really well because there's something simple about it, but was very made a big impact. And so we did get a lot of feedback that was very positive from our peers, as well as we had some pictures on social media, for example. So that we got some feedback there. Not a lot from the neighbors, pretty quiet neighborhood. So, but with regards to the client, they really love the space and they've had great things to say about it.
Terrific.
So here's our favorite question.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to you to receive this award and be recognized by this national association and from your peers? What does it mean to you?
Well, it means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. It's to me, it's the pat on the back. It's the acknowledgement. I really appreciate the CNLA and these types of awards promotes not just us, but it promotes our industry as well as what really promotes what we do. And so I really appreciate that and letting people know. And then also too, like, we work really hard and we love what we do and it's so fun and our passion is there. And so to get the award is the reward from you guys, from the CNLA, and I can't say enough. I really appreciate everything for sure. And even this, like doing interviews and the videos and things like that, that helps as well, and that helps us grow as well as our entire industry and our community.
Fantastic. So that's really all the questions that we kind of put together for you, Andrea. But is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish her up?
No, I think I'm okay. We had a great time building this project. The client was amazing, excellent person to work with. And we were given a lot of freedom with it to build a landscape that was, they trusted our expertise, and it shows with our creativity and the freedom in creating that space.